Alright guys, what's up? It's your boy Brendan, aka Sack Up Handy here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Anthem slash Warframe debate. And mainly, I don't want to really trash talk Anthem too much in this video. One, because I hadn't had a chance to play it yet, but two, because I really do love Warframe, and I'd rather have me talk about something I love than talk about something I hate. So today in this video, we're going to be going over some of my favorite things in Warframe. Now, I should come out and say this right now, that some of these things might be spoilers to the story. Now, the story, which, hit or miss for me, but at the same time, you know, if you are someone who really does care about spoilers, I'll just let you know right now, there might be some things that are spoilers, some things that are not, but for the most part, I'm going over just kind of basic stuff in the game that I really, really enjoy. Now, first things first, guys, what is Warframe? Now, I don't want to go through this huge, long backstory of explaining what is Warframe, what isn't Warframe, because I know just looking at this screen now, we're doing our customization, this is going to look like quite a bit of information be popping up. You got number values and armor, health, shit. You got all these different names of things over here. Let me just put this simply. You have different characters. That will be your Tenno, which is the race of these mechanized units that you have here that you can use that have different abilities. And with that, you can change them. You start off with one, and then you can craft and or buy different units that have different abilities. I think I started off with Volt, which is kind of like electricity, super speed, electricity shields kind of thing. Now, every unit has 4 powers. It has pretty much a starting power, and then 3 other powers you end up unlocking, including like an alt for those of you League of Legends fans out there, like a superpower that you will end up using quite a bit because you work up to it, and it's actually really, really useful. Now, different Warframes or Tenno will have different abilities and also different stats. So this being Volt has probably high energy, high health, and high sprint, but low armor. Whereas someone like my favorite, who I call Rhino-sama, who is all about the armor. This boy need armor for days. But today, if I am playing, I'm probably going to play him as him, even though he is max rank. But I'm just going to go through the rest of this stuff right now, guys. Other than that, you have your primary, your secondary, your melee weapon, and something this is kind of more story related, so I won't go into it right now. I might go into it in another video if you guys really, really want. But for right now, I'm just going to go through the major ones, which are your weapon loadouts, and then your companion loadout, and then gear. So real fast, guys. Obviously, primary weapons are going to be things like sniper rifles, shotguns, assault rifles, and a couple other different variants. Now, most of them are going to follow that. Sniper rifles, assault rifles, shotguns, and bows are kind of your main primaries. Now, some weapons might have secondary effects that you can use by either clicking R3 or charging up, or they're just kind of like point shoot kind of thing. So obviously, guys, I got things like, and I know they all have crazy names and a whole bunch of different stats and stuff, but honestly, if I'm going to just cut through all the crap of me talking about customization real fast, it comes down to, what do you enjoy playing? See, for me, I like Rhino because he's all about the armor buff, so he's pretty much a tank. I use him kind of as a vanguard. I run out there, I'm taking most of the hits, while whatever my squad is doing is either assisting me and keeping me alive, or they're doing high ADS damage from far the fuck away while I'm tanking all the hits. So they get to really get that maximum damage while I'm out here taking all the frontal assault. So in terms of that, I customize my character for what I enjoy to play. So unless I'm ranking up equipment, which I often have to do in this game, I'm going to load out with things that I really enjoy. So Rhino with my skin and stuff for him. My primary, I usually give him an assault rifle or something, just something that gives him a little bit of a crowd clearing. This is a weapon I'm just ranking up, but I actually really enjoy it. The secondary, just something that's kind of fun, and if I need to rank it up, it's just kind of there, and will gain XP as I go through missions. And then what I really tend to use the most often is a speedy melee weapon. Now, in terms of melee, you have things like staffs, swords, tonfas, axes, dual weapons, fists, swords, you have a lot of different variants, whips, hammers, a lot of different variants for weapons, which is a lot of fun because you really get to customize your playstyle. And each weapon has its own set of combos as you get stance mods. Now, what I mean by that is in upgrade, each one of these weapons can be upgraded. So you have things along lines that will increase melee damage, or give it electricity damage, or increase the range of how far you can hit things, or increase the attack speed. So all these things end up making your weapons better. Now, you can do the same thing for your secondary as well as your primary. So that's why you kind of end up needing to rank things up. You max rank things up at 30, and I just realized I'm peeking quite a bit into my mic, so I'm going to move it away. You max rank things up at rank 30, and then through there you can use what's called forma, which are these little puzzle piece looking things, which I can't even show you. But essentially looks like this thing right here. Looks like that. You put it in, and you can change one of these slots to have these little things in the top right hand corner. They are like, I don't know how you put them on, like polarity or like different types of mods that you can attach. So certain ones will have, hold on, I'm gonna take this off for a second. Certain ones will have the little symbols. Like I just took off speed, where the hell it is, speed trigger, which is normally cost 8. By socketing it in, it only costs 4 because those little additional symbols will help cost less, which for your overall mod capacity is useful because if you want to put on higher level mods, then you can actually get more things onto one item at a time. Pretty simple, but also at the same time pretty complicated because a lot of these things you have to find / farm. Now, obviously, guys, I'm going to lose a couple of you when I say farming. I know there's a lot of games out there that are like Battle Royale style, which you're like, farming? What the hell is that? Farming is going to be going through the maps over and over and over again to find things that you specifically want. Now, as a person, why are you an egg? Why are you an egg? Oh, they put him back in the stasis. That sucks. Sorry, got sidetracked. But yeah, farming is going to be kind of like, guys, I understand. But for this game, I actually find it quite enjoyable. So one of the things I'm going to go through now, guys, is kind of simple things. Obviously, this game, like most games that come out recently, has a 2 different type of currency system. First one being credits. Up to the right-hand corner, you can see I have 55,000, which is actually not that much. And then you have things that's called platinum, which is the IRL money bot currency, which you can use to buy different weapons or warframes, or essentially most things in this game. So you can go into here, and if I click on someone like Ember, who I do not currently have, you can see up here that they cost 225 platinum. Or if I need to, I can go down where it says blueprint by pressing R1, and it says it will cost me 25,000 credits to purchase the blueprint, but in that I need to find 3 of these things. They're pretty much the parts to craft this Warframe. Need to find these and also craft these in order to craft this thing where it takes 3 days to craft. So I know that can be a little bit, I want to say, like, concerning for some people because obviously I get it. At a certain point, you don't really want to just be farming the same missions over and over again. But trust me, the game doesn't let you down in a lot of ways. There's a lot of new mechanics added to the game, which makes it actually a lot of fun. So for a lot of things, guys, you have your star map, which is pretty much the planets with a couple extra added in here, which you can jump to. You start off at 1. You progress slowly from the next to the next by doing these little mini boss stages and assassinating people from the enemy factions. And then they get harder and harder progressively to the point where they're so goddamn hard, you will need a squad. So that's the other thing. This game does have solo play value, but also does support a healthy community of people who want to play together, who want to all kind of progress and do more things together. So just because I don't want to show myself getting my butt handed to me on my own video, I'm going to do really easy stages and just kind of show off some of the different events. So right now I'm doing Exterminate. Now, just like Anthem, there are, let's say, specific styles of missions that you can do. One of them being kind of like a simplistic go around, run, and kill everyone. That's what I'm doing right now. It's called Exterminate. They give you a set amount of people that you need to exterminate in a given mission. The higher missions, the more people, or the harder it is to kill people. And that's what you need to go ahead and do. So right now it's giving me 28 people I need to go ahead and introduce them to the ground, which is fine. Now, one of the things I really do enjoy about this game, and you guys will kind of see this in a second, is I'm a big fan of the movement. It's one of the things that really drew me into this game is that it may seem kind of button mashy, but there is actually a lot of complexity in the movement, which is what drew me to the game initially. Excuse me. So even low-end enemies will drop things. As you saw, I picked up a mod, which can be used on some of the weapons that I have. So as you can see, I'm kind of going through and killing most people with my melee just because the amount of speed I get through that is pretty damn amazing. Now, there are other things like you don't have to play this loud and proud. I'm one of these people who doesn't mind getting a little bit loud when he's going around killing people. But, you know, the game does reward you for being a stealthy player with something that's called stealth bonus. So what you can do is come behind somebody, and with their stealth kill, you actually gain an additional attack buff, which doesn't really do much for me now because I'm much higher ranked than everyone I'm going against currently. But in later missions, guys, it actually does a crap ton of help when you're going through people and not just setting off alarms and killing everyone in sight. Now, Rhino-sama, in my opinion, is my favorite frame just because how much he can tank, but he has multiple uses. Now, this might end up being its own set of videos just because I know so many people out there love doing, like, you know, how do you build your character videos and things of that nature. So if you guys are interested in seeing something like that, you know, let me know down in the comment section below if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. If not, I'll probably make a couple just for myself, and then we'll let the community decide as a whole. But, you know, one of the things that I really enjoy about Rhino in terms of his build, I'm not going to kill little doggos because that's not the type of person I am, is a couple of his abilities are really fun. First off, I'm going to use what's called Iron Skin, which gives me a secondary line of health. Well, first, it gives me a temporary invulnerability as I cast it. So I believe it's a 5-second invulnerability, and then it does give me an additional bar of health, quote unquote. It's actually an increased armor rating that you can see down in the bottom right-hand corner. Over its little icon, there's a 99. So that 99, once that's depleted, then it will start going after my shields and my health. Which is it's fine, you know, it's fine. This character does kind of have a 2-step activation to make them really, really next level, though. So I'm going to go through all of his abilities real quick. Obviously, his first ability that you get is called Rhino Charge, which that was it, where you just kind of lunge forward and charge into people. It does a lot of knockback damage, which if you're someone who enjoys crashing into people like I sometimes doing, you know, it's a good way to use his ability. Now, I personally only use that as a fight initiator because as a move, it's very linear, so I don't personally use it very much. You know, I'm more of a melee loud and proud kind of player, which is what's going to bring me up to my next thing, which is his armor rating is directly connected to what I do next. That's going to be his roar. So my melee damage is increased based off of my armor rating. So that's why my Iron Skill ability is so important. My Iron Skin boosts my armor rating, which then by using Roar, I boost my attack rating with melee weapons, making it so I can pretty much just mow through even some of the higher level people. Now, the Roar does have a limited time effect, so after a certain while it does dissipate and I can recast it again. But, you know, for the most part, if you're surrounded by waves of enemies, this is kind of the way you want to go about it. It's a really unique way to just kind of go through and take out quite a few people. The last ability is only really good to show when there's quite a few people around. So I'm going to try to find, a couple people just wandering to see if I can't use it real quick. But that's his fourth ability, which we'll call his hallmark ability, which is his kind of anti-gravity stomp. So Rhino Stomp, it killed out immediately, but what will actually happen is with more enemies around, it actually picks them up off the ground, slowing everyone's movement in a area of effect, in AoE. And what's really nice about that attack is it even gets some of the harder hitting guys and the heavies all at the same time, which if you compare that together with your Iron Skin, your Roar, and that, not only will you kill off some of the lower level guys pretty quickly, but you will also successfully slow some of the heavy hitter guys and be able to kind of just keep hitting them as they're suspended in animation. It's a really interesting attack that I find personally is really good for like defense missions. Now I'm going to go through all of this, so this video is going to be a little bit long, but I feel like that's good because I haven't dropped a video in quite a while, which I do apologize, guys, but just my schedule has been very hectic. Now, obviously, I didn't use any of my other attacks. My other weapons, I use mainly my melee weapon for this one, which is fine to me. Not worried about that. So I'm going to switch up real fast just because I don't want to use just that. I'm going to give him my hammer because, who doesn't want to pretend he's Thor every now and again. But I will say this, guys. So, I get it when people say there's a lot of similarities between this and Anthem. I personally am more a fan of this just because I kind of feel like it offers more to the community. Plus, it's been around longer. There's something to be said. Anthem, I feel like, came out the gate. They charged for it. The game wasn't really finished. It kind of made people turn away because some of its glitches, and it's really limited. I mean, there was a lot of hype behind this game for it to kind of be, I don't want to say simple. I don't want to disrespect it that way, but I will say it's like, it didn't sell me. When I was watching it initially, as people were talking about it and E3 and all that stuff, I was like, oh, this is going to be really, really cool. But as it came out, I was like, I would almost akin it more to like Destiny, even though Destiny has its own feel too. At least Destiny is like this giant open world thing where you can kind of merge with your friends. Anthem is very much these limited maps that are very repetitive to get these characters and just kind of the different armor upgrades. Now let me jump back into what I'm doing. So this is a different type of mission. I'm not going to go through all of them. Obviously, that'd make the video way too long. But this is actually what's called a capture mission. Now, instead of me going around just murdering everyone I see, this is another type of mission where I can just go through and, I can go through, and there is a specific target that I need to acquire, and to do so, I need to hunt him down. Now, luckily, they do tell me where he is. Obviously, you can see on the map there, the little red icon, and I can see him running away from me. So his goal is to get away from me as fast as he can. I'm not going to let that happen. And, I come back over and actually claim him so that he can be brought to justice. So, just one of the other types of missions. This one's really quick. Not really I wouldn't say this is a good mission just for my Rhino. I use him on lower ones if I'm farming or something, just because it's easy. You can kind of run through without taking much damage. I actually can show you this because it's fun. I call this my Kamehameha weapon because just how it's used. It's charged up, you shoot it, and it does a huge blast of damage. Where am I going? Oh, actually, this is kind of, I haven't been to this in a while. Now, as you'll notice, the maps can be kind of these modular, almost kind of like heavy repetition in terms of how some of the layouts look, which is fine. I mean, this is a lot of games like this where they make, heavily detailed things that are just kind of modular, that kind of piece together specifically depending on the type of mission that you're doing. I'm not asking you to make, custom maps every single one. I'm just, now, but different planets do have different looks, which is kind of unique. So you can go to a different planet and Mercury is different from Earth, where, Earth is more green, lush, and kind of overgrown, whereas Mercury is more dusty, rock, and things, which is also is reflected when you are resource gathering, which is another large thing. There are certain resources that you can only find on certain planets, or you find better quantities on certain planets, which is, again, adds to the overall aesthetic of the game. I mean, I don't want to keep harping and kind of sell you guys in Warframe, but at the same time, I'm trying to sell you guys in Warframe. But Warframe to me is fun because it rewards any way you want to play. All right, if you are a pay to win person, you can buy all the Warframes, all the characters you want by spending IRL currency, if that's what you want to do. If not, the game helps you out by actually putting up quests, because yes, there are quests, to help you find the parts and the stuff you need to get different characters. One quest I recently did was Hidden Message, which was to help me find all the parts for a Warframe named Mirage. Now I'm going through the process of finishing up building them. They have another 2 days, essentially, until they're finished. But even with that, guys, I've bought in Warframes before. I'm kind of an in-between player on this. I will grind for characters and weapons as well as buy characters and weapons. And both are fun. If I'm someone who doesn't like sneaking around, the game gives me a large assortment of weapons and Warframes that, say to hell with being sneaky, let's go boom, boom, pow. But it will also give me a lot of Warframes that are, their whole thing is to be tactical and sneaky. I like Ivara because Ivara's third ability, Prowl, essentially just puts them invisible and makes doing really stealth missions incredibly easy because you can walk right by enemies and then just keep it moving. Like nothing ever happened. Similar things, you'll get weapons that are silent. Like right now, this weapon is not silent. This is alarming. If I start shooting this thing will set off people around it and they'll hear it. But if I'm using like a bow or something, wherever my bow is at, there it is. This thing, for the most part, is silent. So, I can keep firing at people and some people won't even notice unless they actually see the person die. So this game is very customizable in the sense of how you want to play. Even down to if you're someone who really likes having, different companions and things, they are forgiving with that as well. You can get things like death cubes, and, some of them, even with this, some of them are better at doing things like just shooting people. Some of them help you out by being like stealthy, like by shade. The closer I get to certain things, or certain enemies, it will actually make my character invisible for a short time, which is definitely useful if you're trying to be stealthy. Or things like Carrier, which will help you by seeking out sentinels. Comes with a shotgun, but also kind of helps you just like with weapon, like picking up ammo. Pretty much is what it's really useful for. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. You also have other companions. We'll call them pets, which are little doggos and catos, which we'll call them Kerbos and I was going to say Khajiits, but I know that's wrong. Curvas? What's essentially they're calling dogs and cats. So, I mean, there's just a lot to this game customized wise. There's a lot of replay value for me. There's a lot of solo play value, and there's a lot of multiplayer value, both in the community of, you're a solo person queuing up with a whole bunch of randos to do something interesting, or if you are, actually building a squad of friends to go play out and do something fun. This is my opinion on the game. It's a lot of fun. I feel like if you are someone who enjoys customization, enjoys grinding, and kind of enjoys a in-depth community, then this might be something for you. I'm part of several groups online that is really, really devoted to this game, and I think rightfully so. If you are someone, because I know I'm probably, forgetting a whole bunch of stuff. So to the people who do play this game and do enjoy it, I apologize. I didn't want to leave certain things that you really enjoy out. I was just kind of going through the motion real quick to kind of get this video out here, to kind of touch on some points that I really enjoyed. But I will say this, guys. In terms of a game like Anthem, I'm not going to tell you not to buy it, not to play it. I'm just going to say, play games for what you enjoy about a game. Don't play it for the hype. And I think that's what initially turned me away from Anthem, was that there was a whole crap ton of hype behind this game. And it kind of let me down a little bit when I started seeing, people playing it and whatnot. Not saying it's a horrible game, not saying that I won't play it in the future if, the opportunity arises. But I will say for right now, I'm very happy with Warframe, have been happy with Warframe for the last 3 years, and will continue to be playing Warframe. I've been even trying to convert my friends over to Warframe from games like Dokkan or, J-Star, Persona. I've been trying to get them to play with me so I can actually have, my own squad of friends to play with. So if you're interested in seeing more videos from me about Warframe, just leave a little comment down below, and I'll try to accommodate by throwing something up there. I really do like the idea of the different builds thing, because I think I've seen a lot of them. See, that's the thing. I'll look that up on YouTube. Like, people like builds and certain characters for Warframe. If not, then hey guys, like I said, we'll find something else to do. Some other videos for y'all to enjoy. But, this has been it. This has been Warframe. I hope this has been informational. I hope it's been fun for you guys. I hope that you find it well. I hope that you guys find games that you really, really enjoy. And that, you just keep playing games, guys. Because honestly, man, there are so many titles out there. And, I'm just saying, don't fall victim to the hype. But, alright guys, this has been more Sack Up Panda. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.